In step 3, we have selected 11 fields, 2 measures and 9 dimensions. Does it mean that we will have 9 dimensions in our cube? Actually, it means that we can have at least 9 dimensions. Let's see the different types. Most common and most simple dimension is dimension from field. Such types are date type, due date, posting date, and document date, and different text fields like posting description or external document number. Also, document number can be used, and we would prefer to have a really good naming convention. Don't spend as much as time as you want just to put it right. So this will be a sales document number. Then there are option fields like sales document type, which means quote order, blanket order. And in our case, this is sales line. This is a hidden field. Sales line number means 10,000, 20,000, and so on. So we're going to use this also here. We have 8 dimensions from fields, 1 option field, and more of this. If something is missing, we just go back and say, hey, we would like to have a sales line type. Also, we missed that field, so just hit one back, write type, and say, yeah, we want to have, what is this field here? Actually, this field is the field GL resource item in a table 31. So we want to have this field here. We'll just add this field here, like this, sales line type. Okay. Now, if a field is from a multiple table, then it comes as a combination of actually 2 fields, but only one is displayed. So this field, sales line, in sales line, a number, field number 6, is related with the type that we just selected, but we don't have to select it. This one has this information, and just to display in NAV what we are speaking about is this is the field, right, 6, and if we select this field, it will automatically pick up also the field that number is related with, and that's why we say it will bring up more information from more tables. In our case, GL, account, item, resource, fixed asset, and so on. So let's write sales line, but this one already exists because that is a number. So we'll put type a number, and we see it's related to the facts, with 2 fields. But what we noticed is we have a number here. So we say, hey, we would really want to be better, and let's just write a number. We can do this easily and put this back. So this is the second multiple table type dimension. The next one is, wow, so many dimensions are available to be used in our project, and we didn't select even one, because all these dimensions that are offered here come from table that are related with the source table, with the sales header and sales line in our case. So what we do here, we select those that we like, and let's say with the reason code, we will, because it's red, it means something, either it's not related or it's existing one. So say, okay, we need this. We have here a customer, and we would like to use a bill to and sell to customer. So we would like to connect to existing one, because we know that in a previous cube, one of the cubes that we implemented as standard, the customer dimension is already there. We write sell to customer, and the relationship is to the name, so that's not going to work. And the number, primary key in a customer, should be sell to customer number. This is what we want. So we have a sell to customer, because a customer table is related to sales header. Now, if we want to have another customer dimension, a bill to customer, and we try to find another customer here, we will not find it, because the table relations are only once displayed in a data model. So what we will do here, we'll go to the custom tab and make it there. But in order to do this, we will pick up the field bill to customer, because in this case so we pick up bill to customer number. Okay, and now as we have a bill to customer number, we would definitely not create dimension from number, because in this case we would pick up only a code information. We would not have like city, country, customer name, search name, or all the attributes that we can pick up. So that would not be good idea, right? If we have a table behind and not only a field. What we are going to do is create a role-playing dimension, because a customer has been used as a relationship as a cell tool, and we are going to look for a customer dimension. This is a list from customer dimension from analysis services database, so it's physical, the same dimension, and we are going to create a bill to customer cube dimension. We are speaking about role-playing dimension. The same physical has two different logical roles. So this is the name, and we have to select the dimension to the fact with a condition. So first we're going to select number and going to link it to cell 2. It's not a bill to customer name, and you see we have to hit add dimension column, put equation, and add fact column. Now this is going to be a little technical. If you are a vision consultant, you can just skip this. In most cases you will not need. The name of the object, this is clear. Bill to customer is going to take the bill to customer number and going to join it with the fact, but the fact doesn't come as a source table name but as a view, because okay, I have this view here. What we are creating actually is a load procedure of fact sales order, and this part has the upper part. This one is a view when we are selecting the fields from source table, and then the lower part, which has three compartments again. This one is load and select in the load, and this one is insert join, where we are connecting different dimensions. This is what we are doing, right, to the fact. So this is a sell to customer, and here is a bill to customer, and we are not connecting directly to the source table. This is what we do in the view part, but in this insert join part where we are connecting dimensions, and that's why, you know, everywhere where we connect dimension is reference is a view, because this is a view part here. And the good news is that we can write after this equation any code. So in most cases you may not need it, but it's very useful. And we are going to say yes, select, and go. Now this is done right, but I would like to remind you on a very common error which I have done many times, or that first, let's say you start with this setup and you have a name of a customer which is a generic one. You do the connection string and you say, hey, I give me the customer number, and then let's say equation, and give me the bill to customer from the fact. You notice what the problem is. If I say add and now I name it a bill to customer, it will still keep the name from the original at the time of the creation, which is not what we want, because this will give us an error. So first, don't forget, in a custom tab, when we are creating role-playing dimension, or when we are creating manually developed dimension to the fact, first make a name, and then when you are doing connections, you just do this part as you're used to do, and do a double check that this name equals dimension name, and do not change the dimension after that without referring this again. So this is good. Now we have two customers, we would say. Physical in analysis services database, it's one physical dimension, but as a cube dimension we will have one sell to and one bill to, and you know this is coming from a sales header sell to customer field, and the lower dimension will get information from sales header bill to customer field. Now we can go back here and look for additional interesting tables. So dimension salesperson can be used. Responsibility center, yes, if we need it. Location, don't be too fast, because this location that is being offered is connected to the header. That's not what we want. We want that location code is connected to the location location in a sales line. This is what we want, so we select the right one, and we have to do it to the existing one because we have a purchase cube. Because we reselected, we changed the action type, we have to do it again. We have to select location code, and that will be connected to location code in the line. Okay, now we don't have this red anymore, and so on. Okay, the currency would be the currency, and on and on. So this demonstration can continue as much as dimensions we want to pick up. This is a very powerful functionality of Wizard, because all the related tables are already here, and all we have to do is select them. We already selected a sales type, number and type from the line, but if we would like to analyze items only, item table with all the attributes, then we would connect item to existing dimension item. And what do we want to item dimension to be connected to? Not to the bill of material in the line, because yes, this is the first field that comes from an item table, but we want this number to be connected to line number, sales line number. Actually the same field that we used in dimension from multiple table, and actually that is the same information, but in our case will be just focused on items, and other transactions from the resource, GL and fixed asset will come under NA. That is okay. Okay, we select, and yeah, we could do more, but just for demonstration it's 9. So we have, see, 18 dimensions selected. So what we have to do is to generate a script, deploy and process solution, and check our results. This pivot table is connected to the cube that we have just created, and here is the list of dimensions that we have. So the two fields are here as measures, and we have a company, currency. Let's go for date. We have a date, this is from field, due date is from field, external document field is there, item by group, and if it's going against the sales line number, if there is no item, then we have NA. Okay, but actually we have a better dimension, right? We have created sales line. So if we drop this and we look into the sales line number, and don't miss this with a number, which is only a number. So this is what we want. We have a type, see, fixed asset item, and so, and we bring in the number or number description, for example. Voila. So this is very nice, and just to remind you, type number is different than the sales line type is the same, but a line number is a reference to a document. So what do we have as a document? So we have a different document types, we have a document number, okay, and we have document number. This is the integer for each document, you see. So this is but this is now formatted as text, that's why it's also sorted like this. And responsibility, reason code, posting decision, these are all fine. And let's check also this bill to and sell to customer. So we have a bill to customer. Let's just go by customer bill to, okay, and bring in customer sell to. I think there is one document that has this bill to sell to different, okay, like this. So do we have somewhere? Yeah, see, this is one situation where new concept furniture is a bill to, and once it's sell to is the same, but this one is something else. So this proves that the setup that we have done is the right one. Yes, and this is also very smart. The global dimensions, we have selected only the 4 global dimensions, and they just came. Actually, they didn't just came, these 4, they came from the setup, and this setup is done by initial BI4 dynamic setup in a deploy part, where we were selecting the companies, and here it is where we are selecting dimensions, global dimensions, from the list of global dimension in NAV. So we have selected 4, and these 4 have been connected to the get information from the sales line, not from a sales header, and there they are. So they come as a hierarchy, as you see, also, not just the flat part. So this is good. Now if we continue browsing, let me show you one thing which is good to know, that we are speaking about the dimension from fields like date, description, option fields, and so on, and we created a dimension from a table called a salesperson, and this salesperson, okay, it's this, has also only one field, a primary key code. Yeah, but so what is it different from the, let's say, posting description? This is also one field there. This is coming from dimension from field, and this is from a table. Actually, on the first view there is no difference, because every dimension must have a field that is a primary key of that table. But later, okay, so this is a salesperson, comes from a table, and a description comes from a field. But if we want to extend the functionality of table, okay, then just bring it here. Then this description doesn't appear here, because description is having only one field. There is absolutely no chance to give another attribute to that dimension. But for dimensions that are being built by a table, we have a lot of options how we can extend the functionality, because you see, we go to this tab, manage dimension, onto this window, and it starts with the salesperson. And what I can do is I can connect any salesperson, any related table to salesperson, or further on I can select any additional field from these and all other source tables. So for example, if I want to give a name or a phone number or email or whatever, this is all possible, and this is what I can do. And I will not go into these details. Let me just select salesperson name, salesperson, let's say code, and well, we will not do any hierarchy, just generate scripts and just check this part of functionality on a really very fast way. So let's check, this is as was before. Let's refresh. Okay, we have this information here. You see, Now we have the salesperson name, the code, which was renamed. Previously we had only a code, a phone number, no phone number, and an email. So now we understand what is the difference if we create dimension from a table, like a salesperson, or from a field, like a description or date or option field.